Hi ladies and gentlemen, this is Game of Trades and this is going to be a technical analysis of the S&P 500. So the S&P 500 has broken out to all-time highs for the third time in the past few weeks. Does this mean that this massive sideways price action that we've had in the markets will come to a stop? Does this mean that all the bearish technicals that we've uh, gotten since the beginning of 2018 are removed? Well, that's what I'm going to discuss in today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. And now let's get right into it. So, let's start off with what we actually see in the markets recently, and that is the fact that we are clearly in an uptrend. Um, we are making higher highs. Clearly, we've just made another higher high and higher lows. So that is the definition of a uptrend. And so there's no doubt about it. If you are bearish now, you are losing money. If you are bullish, you are making money. And clearly, I was um, I was a little bit wrong about being bearish too quickly, too soon, right here. I made a video about this being a potential top in the markets, and I was clearly too early. And that is why I always remind people in their trading that you can be right about something happening, but that doesn't make you a good trader. What makes you a good trader is being right about something happening and also being right about the timing. So always be patient in your trading. Wait for the sell signals, wait for the buy signals before getting into a position too aggressively. So that's a nice lesson to take away from it, especially for me. Um, don't rush into things just because you're confident about something happening. Wait for the actual signals that confirm that what you think is happening is actually happening. So now, considering this bullish uptrend, I'm going to quickly discuss how you can trade it if you are actually bullish on the S&P 500. As you know, as some of you know, I am not currently bullish on the S&P 500, but considering this huge um, rise in the past few days, um, I understand why some people uh, can be bullish about the S&P 500. So, there's a very simple way to trade a bull market, and that is by when the breakout occurs. So buy now and put a stop just below the breakout to all-time highs. And if this is actually a real breakout, then you will be making money for the entire next bull market, and you will be able to add to your position when dips occur during the bull market. And that is how I traded the 2016, 2017 grind up. There were some dips along the way. I added to my positions as we went up until this huge spike in the RSI. That was a big sell signal. So obviously that was a nice way to exit the position, exit the markets right here. Now coming back to this breakout to all-time highs, let's discuss a little bit what I actually think about this breakout. So now, as I said, this is not the first breakout to all-time highs that we've had. We had one here, and we had one here. So this is the third breakout to all-time highs in the past few weeks. Does this mean that this will not be any different? I guess we only have to wait to find out. But I do have some technical signals that tell me that this is potentially a false breakout. Now, first of all, this is really starting to look like a wedge pattern. If you know the rising wedge pattern, you'll know that it is a reversal pattern where the price actually bounces up and down within the wedge until the wedge breaks down and the prices drop. And this type of wedge pattern is actually often accompanied with MACD divergence and RSI divergence. And what is that? That is simply the MACD making lower highs right here, and the RSI making lower highs while the price continues on higher. And that just signifies that the price is getting ahead of itself and that a drop is overdue. Now, obviously, we have this on the daily chart, so that applies to the short term, but we also have the same type of divergence on the weekly chart. You can see here the MACD is starting to curl down. RSI is going down, making lower highs, and the price is continuing on higher. Now, obviously, this can be burnt through. If prices start to rise much more, this can be burnt through, and that would be an official breakout, and I won't have anything to say, but I do have an opinion on this, and that is that in my experience, uh, breakout to all-time highs with divergence um, such as these do not go well. These very often end up being false breakouts. A real breakout would be without divergence and much more impulsive than this, and that is just not what I'm seeing right now. Now, that being said, this is again not a sell signal on its own. This divergence merely indicates that a potential trend change is about to happen. So uh, for now, the trend is up. The MACD is still above the zero line, saying again that the trend is up. And we do not have any sell signals. This trend line is still intact. We haven't broken it. Um, and we are still above the all-time highs, the previous all-time highs. So, everything is bullish so far. Um, I just think that this won't last very long. I think we might get 3 or 4% higher, 3 or 4% above the previous all-time highs, and then we'll start to reverse, potentially break this the previous all-time highs and this trend line at the same time to have a nice correction. But again, that's perhaps getting ahead of myself, and for now, there isn't much to do apart from potentially buy into this breakout or wait for a sell signal to go down. So that's about all I wanted to say on the S&P 500. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. In the meantime, good luck and see you next time.